Let me give you 3 reasons why I would not be moving back to the UK anytime soon. Reason number 1, let's be honest, it's the cost of living. I've been back in the UK less than 12 hours and I've already spent a small fortune. It's absolutely ridiculous. The price of food, the price of taxis, just the price of living in general. Reason number 2 would be the weather. Obviously in Spain, in Benidorm, most of the year it's blue skies, warm weather, and the vibes are just mental. Absolutely amazing. Believe it or not though, it is actually decent weather in the UK today, blue skies. I couldn't believe it myself when I woke up this morning. And reason number 3, if I'm being completely honest, it's just the quality of life. People are so much nicer in Spain than they are in the UK. I get it though, it's miserable. Most days you wake up in the UK, it's grey, it's raining, it's cold, so I totally get it. There are 3 reasons why I wouldn't probably move back to the UK anytime soon. Let me know if you guys agree with me, and if you've got any other reasons why you would move away from the UK, I'd love to hear them.
This is why I left the UK permanently and I'm never going to return. I live in Thailand now. I've lived here for the last 2 years, but I actually left the UK 6 years ago. And there's so many reasons why I will never return. Number 1, it's just a miserable place to be. The sky is always grey, it's raining almost all of the time, sometimes even in the summer. And it affects the mood of the people, so it makes people miserable. I enjoy being in sunshine and I don't like waiting to go on holiday every time to do it. I want to literally live in this condition. The second thing is everybody in the UK is just scraping to get by. The cost of living is through the roof. You don't get much for your money. And on top of that, you are taxed so much on everything. Like, you can barely breathe without being taxed in the UK. Whereas there are countries like Thailand where your money goes a lot further and you can live a really good quality of life. And the final thing is safety. In the UK, you cannot walk down the street without the fear of your phone getting snatched out of your hand. And as a woman, I would not walk alone at night in the UK, whereas here I feel so safe. Never had anything stolen. I've never had any sexual harassment in the street from men. I feel so safe here, and why would I want to go back to a place where I feel unsafe, where it's always grey and where I've got no money because I'm being taxed so heavily.
Leaving the UK has been the best decision I've ever made for my health, because the UK was quite literally making me sick. I thought that I had all of these autoimmune diseases when I was living in the UK because I was constantly tired and fatigued. I was constantly getting ill. I constantly had anxiety. I just didn't feel my best self despite being somebody who is always health conscious, always eating the right things, always going to the gym, always getting 8 hours of sleep. And it was so draining to a point that I was focusing on my health so much and wasn't really getting the results that I should have been. And it was just frustrating me so much and giving me even more anxiety because I was like, what the hell is wrong with me? I had severe acne. I struggled with bloating because my cortisol was so high. Yes, I went to the gym, but it was really difficult to get my steps in because, you know, walking in the UK is not where it's at. So freezing. And since leaving the UK, I'm doing like 20,000 steps every single day. My skin is the softest and clearest it's ever been. This is just scarring. Like, I had such bad acne. You can see from the scarring here. I am the skinniest I have been in years. I have so much energy. I never thought I would have this amount of energy. I just put it down to I'm just not somebody who's got a lot of energy, despite, you know, getting 8 hours of sleep and trying to stay off my phone before I go to sleep and stuff. I just always felt drained and tired, and I just kind of gave up on that. I thought, okay, that's just me as a person. Not here. I can work till late at night. I can get up early in the morning. I feel fresh. Doesn't matter. Like, even if I get less sleep now, I'm still got the energy because I'm constantly outside. I'm constantly getting fresh air, sunlight. And that's just reason 101 why the UK is just such a depressing place to live in. And because it is like that, and because it is so miserable, it is affecting your health and your body in so many ways that you probably didn't even realize.
All right, me and my 2 childhood friends have literally just quit our jobs and we've got a one-way ticket to Thailand and we go on the 31st of March.
Let's go!
Because we think staying here at the minute is just not viable because we're having to work 9 to 5 jobs also while trying to pursue a dream. And doing that in the UK is just near impossible nowadays. just with the cost of living. The weather is normally shit. The quality of life here is just not good. Everyone's miserable. No one really wants to see you do well either. And that's why we're going to go. So our other friend isn't here right now, but
Working.
yeah, he's working. Hence the reason why we have to go, so we can actually pursue it, because we all can't be together and doing it all the time, because we obviously have other commitments and we need to survive. So if you do want to follow the journey, just follow this account, and we're going to be posting pretty much every day until we go, and then every day after that. But all right, see you guys
Strap
later.
in.
So over the last couple of weeks, I've received a lot of messages and comments from people who are desperate to leave the UK. And obviously this is something that resonates with me. This is how I was feeling a little under a year ago. And it's a horrible feeling, you know, feeling stuck, feeling like you can't afford to live the life you want to live. You know, it's not a good thing for anybody. And the thing that really comes across in most of these messages and comments is that people want to escape and they don't know where to start or how to do it. You know, how could you possibly afford it? Where do you go? How do you set up a new life? The list goes on. How do you find work? And obviously a lot of people ask me these questions, and the simple answer is that there is no one solution. You know, for a lot of us, leaving the UK means jumping into the unknown. It's fine. Some people have jobs already set up, or they've already got enough money to invest in another country, but that isn't the case for everyone, and it wasn't the case for me. For me, it was just, do I stay in a place that's destroying me, or do I take the plunge regardless of whether I can afford it, or regardless of whether it'll work or not? You know, at the end of the day, the worst that could have happened is I try and I fail. So, you know, if you're thinking about leaving the UK and you don't know where to start and you don't know if it's going to work, the only advice I can give is that you just have to trust yourself, that you're going to do the very, very best that you can with the situation, that you'll try to make it work, and if it doesn't work, then at least you know that you tried.
Talk about why I left the UK permanently and why I'm most likely never going to return. I left the UK back in 2018 and I went travelling for a couple of years. I did get stuck back in the UK during lockdown. Unfortunately, I didn't want to be there that long, but I was there for about a year. And then I left again the literal day the lockdowns lifted. And I've been travelling and living abroad ever since. And I've been back to the UK a couple of times since then to visit family, you know, just sort things out. And I've never enjoyed being back very long, and I've always been relieved to leave. And even last time I went back, I literally only went back for 3 days, and I was happy to leave after 3 days. Just want to say this is nothing against anyone who enjoys living in the UK. There's nothing wrong with that. This is just my own opinion and experience. Okay, I might get hate for this one, but I'm gonna say it. A lot of people are really miserable in the UK, and you feel that vibe and that energy kind of everywhere you go, whether it's walking into Tesco's, whether it's walking down the road, whether it is being around family or friends. Like, people just do not seem happy. And I don't know if that was just my experience. Please let me know if you experience this as well when you're in the UK, but maybe it's the weather, the greyness, you know, it kind of dampens everybody's mood. I was miserable in the UK as well, so I was part of the problem. The second thing is the lifestyle. Things like living for the weekend, things like, you know, not really being able to do that much outdoorsy stuff 80% of the year because the weather's so crap. The weather is a big part of the reason as well, actually, and that kind of affects the lifestyle, right? It affects what you can do, it affects being able to go outdoors. And, you know, I'm somebody who loves being near the beach, I love swimming in the ocean, I love tanning, being in the sun. None of that in the UK, and I don't want to live for the weekend anymore. I don't want to go out drinking, I don't want to go to the pub. That seems like it's one of the main social things to do in the UK. And the final thing is the standard of living is just so low for the wages and the money you get paid in the UK. Like, you don't get a lot for your money, and most people are not being paid enough for what it is they do compared with a lot of other countries. So if you have a skill or some kind of value that you can take and work somewhere else and have a much higher quality of life, why wouldn't you? I started an online business and so I have a degree in marketing, but when I left university, this was 10 years ago now, the jobs that were going at the time were the junior marketing roles were £15,000 a year. I couldn't even take one of those jobs because I wouldn't have been able to sustain myself in Manchester, living on my own. So I went into a different job. But fast forward to now, I've started my own business and I'm earning a decent wage. I'm earning a decent living from that business. And I also get to choose wherever I want to live in the world because I'm working fully remotely. So now I'm living in Thailand and I get to live a much higher quality of life here. My money goes much further than it would in the UK.
Why did I move back from England to Cape Town, South Africa with my British husband? The answer is very, very simple. I don't owe anyone an explanation, but I'm going to give you guys a few hints of why I moved back. Number one, the weather. Of course, I absolutely miss seeing the sun. It just makes me so much happier. I am not a winter girl. I've always not been a winter girl. Number two, the food. The food is so much better in South Africa. And number three, the people. There is no people on the planet like South Africa. We are the most friendliest people you will ever find in all your life. And was it a blessing for me to move to the UK? 100%. It showed me what I didn't want to be like. It showed me what I missed and took for granted all this time. And having said that, I definitely don't have anything against the UK. I don't think that you should go and live in the UK with the intention, especially if you've just arrived there and you're watching this video. I don't want you to think, you're going to get bullied, or you might move there and you would like everything that I've just mentioned that I didn't like. It's not a competition. It's an individual choice. I get so many messages from expats around the world saying they want to move back as well. They're in the process of moving back. There's no place like home. But the reality is, Tom and myself, my husband, if you are new on this page, we weighed up our pros and cons, and we actually found out that we could have a better life here in terms of my mental health, number one. Number two, I just wanted to be happy again. I lost myself. When I say lost myself, I had to pretend to be something that I'm not, because the minute you are yourself in a foreign country, you will hear that that's not how we do things here. And that's fine. It might work for other people, but for 7 years, it was just a constant moving back and forth. And I feel like a lot of people think that Tom and myself just planned this over the past couple of months. We've actually spoken to our close friends and family about this for years. The plan was always there, and Tom and myself were very careful about our plans. We did save up a bit of money. We bought a house on purpose so that we could make some profit off it and come back here with some money, and just live a better life. For you, a better life might be living in the UK and all of those things. For me, the pros and the cons looks different for everyone, and I do appreciate people who move abroad for a better life, because if I had to do it all over again, I probably would. But I think there's a time and place where you have to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, are you happy? And if the answer is no, only you can make that decision. I've just had so many different conversations with people wanting to move back, asking me for my advice, and I said to them the following: please do not quote me on my experiences in Cape Town, South Africa. Please, if you come back, make sure you do your own research based on where you're going to live. If you're going to move to Durban or you're going to move to Joburg, that's very different from Cape Town. And even within Cape Town, you have the Cape Flats, you have townships, you have the suburbs, you have Camps Bay, you have different places. So no matter what, we're all going to have different experiences. I am very grateful that the UK took me in. It gave me a very, very good life. It made me very, very stable in life. It matured me into this young woman that I am today. It gave me a very good husband as well. But the reality is, I just love my country and I'm very passionate about South Africa. And I'm never, ever going to let anyone tell me otherwise. I love being back here. And just in the first month, we've been back for a month, I've already made 5 South African friends. I couldn't do that in the 7 years that I was in the UK. I'm not saying I didn't have British friends, but it took long to make those friends. So my opinion is, before you want to pack up and leave whichever country you live in, make sure that you weigh out your pros and cons. If the answer is stay abroad, then stay abroad. I'm not here to encourage anyone to move back. This is my story. This is my experience. If you feel like you've had a different experience and you never want to leave the UK or America or wherever, make your own video and then you tell your followers what your experience is. This is my experience and I absolutely love being back home. I am very proudly South African. I love this country with all my being. I don't know how to love another country. I don't know how to do that. I will always say to Tom that the UK will always have a special place in my heart, but there is no place like South Africa, and that's the truth. And that's the reason why we came back, for a better life. To some it might sound like a joke, and to some it might make sense. Only you will know what a better life looks like to you. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.
The UK government is failing its people. These 7 metrics prove it. A government's first duty is to control who comes in and out of the country. We've got record migration, small boats making daily landings, and a Home Office that can't even process its own paperwork. Are the streets safe? Are the police visible, competent, trusted? Knife crimes normalised, police response times are embarrassing, you're more likely to get arrested for a tweet than for a burglary. Citizens should be able to access timely, effective healthcare. NHS waiting lists are at record highs, dentistry is now a luxury, free at the point of use is becoming not available at any point. A civilised government looks after its most vulnerable. Social care is gutted, carers are burnt out, benefits system is punitive. Vulnerability is treated like a personal failing. Creating an environment where people can build a business, get a decent job or improve their standard of living. Productivity is flat, wages haven't kept up, small businesses are strangled by tax and red tape. There's no vision for the future. Roads, rail, broadband, schools, basic physical and civic infrastructure to support a functioning society. Trains are late, roads are full of potholes, schools are falling apart, broadband is patchy. The basics are being bodged. Setting a clear, coherent national agenda, domestic and global, and leading with some form of competence. Constant chaos, no long-term plan, endless churn in leadership. Most voters can't tell you what this government stands for.
These are 3 reasons as to why England is the best country in the world and what we do better than everyone else. Number 1 is, of course, the food that we have. It is not only really simple to make, easy to get the ingredients, and very simple, but we just simply have the best food. Beans on toast, a roast dinner, fish and chips. Babe, that is a culinary masterpiece. That's what everyone says. If you have ever come to England, you know how good the food is here. Number 2 is, of course, the healthcare. It's so wonderful that we get free healthcare. You know, it's amazing that we just get everything given to us for free. We definitely don't have to pay really high tax rates in order to cover the cost that the NHS covers us. And there isn't a massive wait list to get onto the NHS for anything. Number 3 is, of course, the weather. England does the weather the best. We get all seasons. It's definitely not freezing cold every single month. It's definitely not a pit of depression every time you step out the house. And it's definitely the most upbeat place on the planet.
Well. The UK is officially being deemed as the 2nd miserable country in the world. But let's actually talk about this. What is it in the UK that makes people and everything miserable? Because I realize the people themselves are not that bad. Take someone out of the UK. Like when I meet people from the UK in Dubai, bro, they're the most vibiest people ever. They are good vibes, bro. I'll choose someone from the UK over someone from America anywhere in the world. Because people in the UK, deep down, they're calm people. But what is it in the UK that destroys it, bro? You see someone in the UK on holiday, you see that same person back in the UK, it's like he's been cloned. It's like you've never seen this person before. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's ULEZ. I don't know if it's parking tickets. I don't know if it's Eddie Abu. I don't know what it is, bro. But in the UK, they need to do a study. Because what is it that causes people to become miserable? Comment down below what you think, because I need to know, bro.
Right, let me tell you what I really hate is that as a woman, it's really frequent that you get stared at or touched inappropriately or followed. And I hate that the only way I've learned to combat this is to act as if you're not scared and to confront these people. I was just on the underground in London and I had a man that was staring at me and licking his lips and rubbing himself, and no one intervened, and other people saw and I caught their eye contact. And so what did I do? Like, despite being quite frozen in fear, turned and looked at him and said, "Can I help you?" And like gave him eyes like that. And then he goes, "Oh, no. Because, you know, like they think we're vulnerable, therefore they do it because the vulnerability is the thing that clearly gets them off. And I'm just really, really sick of it because I don't want to have to do that. I feel shaken. I feel scared. I don't like it. I don't have that courage or that bravery. I'm not like fearless like that, but I have to be. And I've learned to be, or at least be perceived that way because as I've just seen, you know, no one intervenes.
So if you see something like this, intervene, please. Shouldn't be my responsibility, in a train full of people to act aggressive when I'm not, because I'm actually terrified. Anyway, that's all. I hope you're all having a good day.
There's lots of talk going around at the moment about the UK being one of the most miserable places in the world. Actually, having said that, it's not talk. We got the official ranking of second place on the globe. Everyone's tired. Nobody can afford anything. The education system's falling apart. Poor people aren't just poor anymore. They're desperate. Food isn't food. Tap water isn't water. The sun isn't sun. The rain isn't rain. Culture and patriotism doesn't exist. Some towns and cities are banning the England flag from being put up throughout England. But aside from all of that, one of the biggest reasons for the miserableness, and possibly the biggest cause of all of the above, is the lack of community. And there's pretty concrete evidence when you look at smaller towns, smaller places that don't get much media attention or much of a spotlight generally, they are overall much happier. It's a much more pleasant environment to be in. Families are tighter, friends are closer, they're not necessarily richer, but there's a higher level of mood. And it's all because of a sense of community. You get on the bus, the driver smiles, he actually asks you where you're going, and if you get it wrong, he doesn't want to smash your face. You go for a coffee, the cafe workers smile and chat to you. The old person at the bus stop chit-chats to you. Fellow drivers of the road let you in at junctions. They don't block you off, toot, swear at you, park halfway across the road, get out of the car and walk over to you with a baseball bat. True story, by the way. And I know, a fair argument is to say, well, in big cities like London, the driver doesn't have much reason to smile. The worker in the cafe is justified to be miserable. The drivers have reason to be agitated. Fine. But before we ship off the accountability to the larger forces and bodies who control the markets and impact things like inflation, energy prices and tax and other things that are the main reasons for people's general mental self-destruction, we have to first and foremost look at one another and accept that we have actively neglected, well, nobody invests any of their time into their local community anymore. None at all. So we have to take some responsibility. Now, I travel around a lot, and lots of times not to big cities. I go to smaller places where the cafes aren't just Starbucks, Pret, Costa, Cafe Nero. Local cafes, small businesses, private cafes. You walk in, everyone knows each other. The worker knows the regulars' orders. Everyone's smiling, chit-chatting. The workers talk to the customers behind the till. Everything's a bit everywhere, but it's good vibes. The conversation goes beyond the standard, hi, what can I get you? Usual, please, makes it, scan card, thank you, exit, no goodbye, rush off the station. If I don't get the train, I'll be late to work. I'll get fired. I won't be able to pay my bills. My wife will leave me. The kids will die. All right. Things in London are pure system, corporate and factory. Standard conversation, comfort zone, social anxiety, head down, no critical thinking, no situational observation. There's no looking at the cafe worker's top and asking him or her where he got it and then having a quick chat about clothes, or I don't know, or the cafe worker coming up to you and asking you about your day or what you're up to over the weekend or something. There's no creativity, there's no versatility. It's pure factory procedure, rinse, repeat, go home, repeat, pay the bills, etc. Not to mention the customers themselves are less of arseholes in those better community places. And it is sad because I think a place like London is well beyond repair for now, and all major cities of the country are following the exact same footsteps and are only a few behind for now.
Leaving the UK and I'm moving to a different country. Now, I've lived in London for about 10 years or so. And when I first moved here, it was so exciting. There were so many opportunities and it was just an amazing place to be. But after the thing that happened where we couldn't leave our houses, things just changed. Like, London has never been the same. The UK has never been the same. It's unsafe. You can't even walk down the road holding your phone without fear of someone stealing it. And I've just felt so uninspired from a work perspective, but also just living my life. I've just felt like I've been living in four walls. I haven't really been inspired to do anything, and I haven't pushed myself, and I haven't grown as a person. Because of that, I knew that something really big needed to change. And that is moving to a different country. So come with me and let's move country. The flights are booked. The packing has begun. We've got to do a couple of things before we leave, like defrost the fridge, the freezer, the wine cooler. And this took me days. It was thick ice. I'll definitely miss this apartment. We had to leave for our flight at about 5 a.m. So we had to lock up, get in the car and head to Heathrow Airport. We had quite a lot of bags to check in, and then it was time to board our flight. This plane is absolutely humongous. I definitely won't miss the UK rainy weather. And after 6 hours, we landed. It was time to get our bags, head in a car and head to the hotel. We've landed. We're in the hotel and I have now officially moved
to Dubai. That's right. We are living permanently in Dubai. Now, I first visited Dubai about 8 years ago with my family, and I was just blown away with this place. We just had the most incredible time, and I really could see myself living here. My auntie's lived here for, I think, like 20 years or something. And she's always told me, this is the place you want to move. This is where it's happening. This is where the world is moving. And she was right. It's sunny all year round here, which is something I've been desperately missing in the UK. It's one of the safest cities in the world. You can leave a watch or a handbag on the side in a restaurant and no one will even look at it. There is zero tax. That's right. You pay zero tax here. The opportunities here are absolutely endless. I'm so excited to be here. I just can't wait to get going filming. I'm buzzing to make this video. So the next thing we need to do is find an apartment to live in. So make sure you're following and let's find an apartment.
Guys, I urge you to leave the UK. There is zero opportunity in the UK left. Hear me out. The job market is terrible. The housing market is terrible. No quality of life. Less than 2 weeks of sunshine, like the whole year round. Really, look at the quality of life here in Southeast Asia, in Bali. Really enjoying the lifestyle here.
You know, I'm sat here in the sweltering heat, melting. It's lovely. It's absolutely gorgeous. But sometimes I think, why? Why am I doing it? Why am I sat here sweating me bollocks off, working, grafting? For what? So the government can take their cut? Do you know what I mean? But maybe I ought to go over to France and then come back over on a dinghy. Because then at least I get 5 years rent paid, council tax paid, gas, electric, water rates, TV licence. Do you know what I mean? And the benefits. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I mean, fucking hell, man. When are we going to get some help here? Working our fucking bollocks off. Day in, day out. I mean, I got paid last month. I was skint after 2.5 weeks. I've had to do a week and a half.
Life is so hard when you're out here in Thailand. It's at moments like this where I'm walking along the beach, crystal clear water in the Andaman Sea, 35 degrees sun, and I just wish I was sitting in an office block in Canary Wharf. I've just been sipping from a coconut underneath a palm tree. To get here, I took my moped along these windy, beautiful roads surrounded by jungle. I check the stories on my Insta feed every few days because I have absolutely no reason to be going on social media when I'm here. And I can see my mates back home. It's grey, it's snowy, and I just wish I was there. But seriously, I've met a lot of people out here, mainly from Europe, and they live this lifestyle where they come here for the winter. If you can get yourself in a position where you can do summer in Europe, and then winter here, why would you not do it? Winter in Europe is completely bleak. And if you have the opportunity to skip it and have this, take that opportunity. If you can get a remote job and work out here, take that opportunity. If you can work for 6 months back in the UK, save up and then come out here, take that opportunity too. Just go for it. Drop a follow for more.
Keep getting comments from people like, I can't believe you're moving to Australia. Like, won't you miss home? Can't believe you're going. What made you go? And I'm just here thinking, like, are we on different planets? What is actually good about this country? Like, please enlighten me. The only thing that people have actually been able to say to me, which I can kind of get, is family. That has been the one and only thing people have been able to say to me when I'm like, why would you not want to go? And I do get it, you know, like, people want to be close to their families and it's good to be around your family and stuff. Like, I completely get that, but other than families, like, please tell me what is keeping you here. Especially more so for me and Aaron, because we haven't got any kids. Like, we've got no children, it's just us two. So what would be keeping us in this country? We're going to be moving somewhere where there's generally better weather. Like today, it's rainy, it's wet, it's just shit. What can you actually do with your time? Unless you want to go out to eat, in which case you go out for eat. Again, the food isn't great, the service is crap, like there is nothing to do. Unless you want to go out drinking all the time, which makes you feel like crap and isn't even enjoyable. What else is there actually to do? We're going to be moving somewhere with better weather, like better job opportunities, better work-life balance, healthier lifestyle. Sunshine generally makes people happier anyway. Because the weather's better, there's so much more you can do with your time. like, why would we not want to? I know that my family are here and obviously Aaron's family are here, but that isn't enough to keep us. So if anyone's got any good reasons why they want to stay in the UK or why they love living in the UK, why they wouldn't want to move, like, please enlighten me, because not a single person has been able to question when I've said, like, why should I stay in the UK or what's good about it? But they seem so shocked that I'm willing to move to Australia, when to me it's just a no-brainer, to be honest. So yeah, if you've got any reasons that you think are like valid reasons of why it's good to live in the UK, let me know, because I can't think of a single one other than family.